I've been coming to the forum for a few years, and actually I think this year's event is the best of the forums that I've attended in terms of the number of people who are here and the level of interaction is great. You know, I think it is a great platform for Russia, and it attracts an interesting mix of people, not just from Russia itself, but an international mix of people, and we see that in terms of our own clients as a global network of firms. Walking the corridors, we bump into a lot of our clients from around the world, which is a good sign.
I see. Now, it's no secret that doing business in Russia can be extremely challenging. How challenging is it to you, and what are the main obstacles that you've encountered or had to overcome?
We are coming up for 25 years in Russia, and one thing is for sure, it's still a challenging environment in which to do business. But I think the environment, people miss sometimes that actually the environment has significantly improved over the years, and Russia is more and more competitive in terms of a business environment. If you look at areas like the reforms that the tax administration have made, they've made it a lot easier to open businesses. They've made it a lot easier to comply with all the regulations, and this is improving life for business people in Russia. So whilst there are still many challenges, and not least in terms of bureaucracy and other areas, I still think that Russia is an attractive market, and it's certainly attractive in terms of the returns that investors get. Something that, again, talking to our international clients, most of them in private at least would highlight the fact that Russia has been a very successful market for them, and is one of the most attractive markets in their network. And we're seeing that in terms of our business, that more and more of our international clients are making inquiries of us about opening operations in Russia, or actually expanding their existing operations in Russia.
Great. Do you think that the Russian government is doing enough to really improve the country's investment climate and the extent to which Russia is an attractive investment location?
You can never do enough. So particularly in an environment where competition at a governmental level is really multinational. You know, it's a global market for capital, and in terms of attracting investment, Russia has to compete against all the other countries in the world that are also looking to attract investment into their country. So are we doing enough? I think we're doing quite a lot. I am frustrated that we're not doing more, and I think it's part of the issue is actually not concentrating on attracting foreign investment, but concentrating on making it easier for domestic companies and individuals, entrepreneurs, to be successful. And I think that's something that's been highlighted recently in terms of Mr. Putin's made comments about the importance of the environment for small and medium-sized enterprises to thrive, and concentrating on areas like credit availability for those small and medium-sized enterprises is a critical component of addressing the business environment.
Right. On the whole, how would you evaluate Russia's investment climate today, and have you noticed positive trends?
Certainly I've noticed positive trends. As I mentioned, we, as an international, part of an international network, we're a Russian business, but we're part of an international network. We see a lot of the clients of the international side of our business coming to us and talking about either opening for the first time, looking at making initial investments in Russia, or actually expanding their existing investments. So one of the fastest growing parts of our business is actually the part of the business that's focused on dealing with our international clients and their operations in Russia. And I think that's a very tangible reflection of the fact that people see that not only is it possible to do business in Russia, but actually the returns are good in Russia, and therefore it's a good place once you've made an investment to follow on that investment and invest even more successfully.
Right. What's your attitude toward the so-called de-offshorization policy? That was a subject that was very extensively discussed at the past G8 summit, for instance.
I think these kind of global issues, and it was at the G8 summit, so you can see that it's a topic that is hot around the world. I think it's in part it focuses on the fallout from the global recession that we've been going through, that people look at areas and try and identify areas where they can improve the level of investment in their own economies. I think as a phenomena, I think that onshoreization, if you like, is something that is interesting to look at. But I think it's a zero-sum game. You know, if we're all focusing on trying to get jobs back into our own economies, then at the end of the day, we're not actually generating more jobs, because it's a sort of a loop. I think more important is that we concentrate on areas around productivity, and I think that's key for Russia. Is we only have 5% unemployment, so it's not that we've got huge volumes of spare labour to take up jobs if we do bring them back to Russia. I think what's more important is to focus on how we improve productivity in the Russian economy, such that the investments that are made in the Russian economy generate faster, higher returns that can support deeper economic growth.